I was at the store this morning and I usually like to hang around the produce section for a couple of reasons. First reason being I'm still waiting to reach for like the same carrot as some beautiful dream man. But the more realistic part of this story is I like to see what's fresh. Today I was in luck. I found some green beans that looked really good, which is amazing because lately they've been looking like trash. Automatically thought of a recipe that I saw on Pinterest a while back, and it's for these like garlic Parmesan roasted green beans that I've been waiting to cook. I'm going to have this recipe today, but I'll link everything down below in the description if you want to check it out. Obviously, this would make a really great side dish, but if you're like me and you don't mind eating like a pound of green beans for lunch, who am I to stop you? My oven is preheating to 400 degrees Fahrenheit right now. There are only a few ingredients, so it's very easy to throw together. Let's get started. Starting with my green beans, these have been washed and dried thoroughly, and now I'm just gonna trim them up. I know we really only need to cut one end off of a green bean, but I'm the kind of person who wants both ends cut off. Just don't ask me why. It just tastes better to me that way. But you can do whatever you want with your green beans. And I have a bowl right here, just throwing everything in there because I'm going to mix everything before I toss it into my sheet pan. And if you have never tried roasting your green beans, you are missing out. Roasting any vegetable is like perfection, but green beans, they kind of stay crispy and they bring out, of course, all the sweetness, and they just get kind of crunchy and delicious and charred, which is my favorite. But if you want them a little more tender, you can definitely boil these a little bit beforehand. Garlic. I love garlic. The more the better for me. I'm not gonna chop this too fine because I do want some larger pieces in there to get a little more crispy. And the smaller it is, I feel like the easier it will be to burn. Next thing is some Parmesan. I am definitely getting to the end of this baby, but I have another for backup, don't worry. Of course, this recipe has measurements, but like, I don't measure cheese and I don't measure garlic, and so this is kind of what I'm making it. However, the recipe does call for Italian seasoning. Oven's ready. This recipe does call for Italian seasoning. I don't have any, so I'm just gonna kind of add whatever I want in there, but keep that in mind as well. A little bit of salt, not too much because the cheese is salty. Pepper. I'm gonna add a little bit of onion powder in here, and I think that's it. Now to bring it together, you can definitely use some olive oil if you want to. I am using butter. The recipe calls for softened butter, but it is not warm here, and so to soften this butter would take ages, so I'm just gonna partially melt it and it's gonna be fine. Going to work this all around and get everything coated in all of the goodness. I have a sheet tray here lined with foil. I'm just gonna dump them out. Spread everything evenly. One layer so that everything just crisps on up. Because I can, I am going to just shave a little more Parmesan on the top. These go into my preheated oven for 15 to 20 minutes, I think the recipe suggests, but really just cook them until you like them. Just watch them and you be the judge. For some garnish later, I have some Italian flat leaf parsley here that I'm just gonna give a rough chop. I love parsley. It is so fresh tasting and really just brightens everything up. Lemon would have been really good on those green beans too, but I do not have any. Apparently I was just not paying attention at the store this morning, and all I got were some green beans and some disappointment that I didn't have my carrot love story. I do not know what happened to my sound here, but it was awful. So here we go. We're gonna look at me plating this up. It came out beautifully. Everything was so green and crunchy, just giving you a little bit of a better view there. Of course, now I have to eat it because look at it. And When I tell you that this green bean was one of the best green beans that I've ever had, so crunchy. Everything came out so perfect, and the way that the cheese and the garlic crisped up together, perfection. Enjoy.